My name is Aiyana. Today we just want to talk to you guys a little bit about stress and anxiety. But before we do that, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a recent graduate from the University of Phoenix. I obtained my bachelor's in human services with a focus on family and children. And I'm currently enrolled again to get my master's in psychology. And one fun fact about me is I've lived literally all over the place. I was born in New York, lived in the Dominican Republic for about 5 years, and then I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia for most of my life. And just recently, about 5 years ago, moved out to good old Phoenix, Arizona. I visited a lot of places. My mom calls me a hippie because I've been everywhere, but it's fun. I really enjoyed traveling at such a young age.
Love it.
Yes.
And hi everyone, my name is Joshua Barrocio. I'm the outreach specialist for the Y Achievers program. I'm also an alumni of the Y Achievers program. So I was in this program last year. I recently, my 1-year anniversary working with the Y Achievers. I got hired soon after the program ends. And something about me is I love music and singing.
Can you sing something for us?
No.
I am a case manager here. I deal with youth 16 to 24. We just kind of help you guys achieve your personal goals, your work goals, your educational goals. Just make sure that you guys are set up for success in the future. And you know, a lot of that does kind of bring stress and anxiety. Like, what do I do? How do I even begin going about living out my dreams? You know, and that can just happen with any aspect of life. So we just want to talk to you guys about what stress and anxiety are and how to overcome them.
Absolutely. So we'll start off with the definitions of stress and anxiety. So stress is more of one person's perception of their inability to cope with a certain lens, event, or situation. And not all stress is necessarily bad stress. For example, stress on your body or stress coming from school is actually good stress. And it's, you know, helping you grow as a person. But sometimes things can get overwhelming, and that's what we're gonna talk about today, is that ability to cope with just a few tips. Do you wanna talk about anxiety, Aiyana?
Yes, anxiety is actually an intense or persistent fear about everyday situations. Like for example, I had anxiety about filming this video. Sometimes I'm like, I left my house too late. Am I gonna be stuck in traffic? So just little things that can kind of make you feel unsure about yourself going throughout the day. So yeah, we're just here because everyone does, you know, experience that on a daily basis to some degree. We're just here to kind of talk about that and let you guys know that it's okay and just different ways to overcome it or just cope with it. So the first one is just take deep breaths. Anxiety, like Josh is doing, anxiety does kind of quicken our breath and just kind of allows us to kind of lose our breathing and our rhythm. So just taking deep breaths and just kind of refocusing your mind and your body will kind of help you reanalyze the situation. And along with that is also exercise for about 30 minutes a day. Whether it's taking your dog for a walk or you taking yourself for a walk, or you know, anything that you enjoy that just kind of gets that, you know, that heartbeat going, the blood flowing, because exercising releases endorphins, which are good hormones, make you happy and smiling. So anything that you enjoy to do, you know, doing for 30 minutes a day, definitely, you know, find a hobby and start doing that.
Great. Some other tips are just to give yourself a little time out. So especially if you're in a stressful environment, taking yourself away from that is one really good tip from, you know, not feeling stressed. And while you're doing that, you can play music, you can do some light exercise.
Like yoga.
Yeah, something to give yourself a time out. Another good way to give yourself time out is to specifically learn your triggers. So if you're just kind of thinking about your situation, you might find out like certain things in life just almost always stress you out. And that can be, you know, a range of things. Like social anxiety is one thing a lot of people have. It's really common, but it's something that you could cope the more you practice over time.
Yes.
Another way that you can alleviate your stress and anxiety is one, by giving yourself a timeout. Especially if you're in a stressful environment, taking yourself away from that is one really good timeout. So if you're in a stressful situation, you kind of want to get yourself out of that, and you can be doing certain things. So more light exercise, listening to music. I like to dance.
Yes, that's not a good move.
Right. And specifically, one other thing you should do in that timeout sort of environment is to learn about your triggers.
Yes.
So certain things you'll realize when you reflect on, being stressed, that some things always make you stressed out.
Yes.
So social anxiety, for example, is
That's a big one.
very common.
That's our age group, yes.
But also very not necessarily easy, but capable to cope with. And so another example of that is just for me, like we mentioned, I'm a student, and this week I had 2 exams, I had 3 quizzes, but giving yourself that timeout space and realizing like I'm just stressed because there's a lot of deadlines, not necessarily because I did anything, because anyone else did anything, and it just knowing really does alleviate your stress.
Yes, like for me, like my trigger, I feel like I'm in school again, and I have a 4-year-old, and sometimes, he can be a little bit overwhelmed with staying quiet while mom does homework or anything. So I've learned to understand that as stressful as it can be for me to sit there and do homework, it can be very stressful for him to sit there and be quiet and sit through the homework with me. So I like to just take my own time out with him, take him out to ride his bike, just for a walk, just to clear our heads, especially during a time like COVID where you can't go out, to the movies, you can't go see your friends. So really being creative during times like this, but it really starts with learning your triggers, and be patient with yourself. There are millions upon millions of people that are dealing with stress and anxiety each and every day.
And there's different severities for sure.
Yes.
Some people have like serious stress and anxiety where medical professionals or medication might get involved. There's a spectrum for sure, but being patient with yourself is just one way to keep moving forward.
Yeah, and if you're not patient with yourself, I think it re-triggers you to become stressed and anxious again. So just be patient. Sometimes even laugh it off. Like I'll go through my day and I'm like, what just happened? And I have to literally laugh it off, because if not, then I'm back in that mind frame where it's like, okay, my day is terrible, I can't do anything about it. So just be patient with yourself. Understand that what you're going through is completely okay. You're literally not the only person. And you have a right to feel how you feel. There's nothing wrong with it. And if you ever feel, as Josh mentioned, that you need, like professional help, there are therapists out there. And we can actually include some resources within this video that will help you, whether it's through your insurance. I know some colleges offer counseling through their students. Programs like ours, like you can join our program. We're obviously super easy to talk to, and we can help you with the stresses of school, work, and just everyday life.
Right, because the counseling doesn't have to necessarily come from a licensed therapist. Confiding in a friend, a family member, or someone that you trust is another perfect way to deal with your stress and anxiety.
Sometimes I just need someone to just be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Maybe not even understand what I'm saying, but just make me feel that I'm not wrong for how I feel. And I know that I talk to some of my kids sometimes, and their stress and anxiety may not come from the same, places that mine stem from. But I know for them, just having someone to just, agree with them and just to validate their feelings, I think that really helps a lot, and it can help more than people really understand.
So thank you very much for looking through this video. Like Aiyana mentioned, we have some resources down below for stress and anxiety. And if you were interested in learning more or even joining the Y Achievers, we're a community resource for people 16 through 24, and we're here to help out with their educational and career goals and dealing with their stress and anxiety.
And we'll also put our contact information in this video as well. If you guys want to reach out to us, send us an email, text, call, whatever. We're literally always available. It's our job. So let us know if you guys have any questions or even have any input that you guys wanted us to add for another video.
Great.
Thank you.